Hello and welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor and tonight I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. This is a horoscope for Taurus. If Taurus is your solar, lunar, ascendant / rising sign, then this is a message for you. Okay, let's get started. All right, knock, knock, knock. Let's see, what do we have? What do we have tonight? What do these tea leaves have to say? Okay. Goodness. All right. Let's see. Where should we start? All right. I feel like this is going to be kind of a, I don't know, kind of a different reading for me, maybe. Okay, so I want to look at the card that I pulled. So this is the Lover's card. It's from the Thoth deck, and this is, as you would think, a kind of a union of opposites, the kind of celestial marriage, chemical marriage. We have, you know, these different alchemical symbols here. We have the Orphic egg down here with the serpent wound around it. This is the one of the origin stories, stories of cosmology, but also very much in line with divine knowledge. We also have the married couple, of course. We have the children, of course. And up here we have Eros or Cupid, and just kind of overall, you know, the mysteries of creation, of coming together to create, and life, or any other kind of creation, really. But ultimately, you know, sometimes I read this as a card of romanticism and kind of having a consciousness in the variety of forms of love. And that might be. So let's take a look here. All right. So I want to look at this one. It looks like we have a Scorpio person in your life. We have definitely a Scorpion right here. So I think that this is maybe a Scorpio. Maybe this is somebody who just has the attributes of a Scorpion. So beware. I do think, though, that this is maybe romantic or becoming romantic. I feel that you have a deep interest in this person. I feel that there's a really palpable kind of connection with them. And I feel like it's very much on a physical level. I mean, I think of a Taurus and a Scorpio coming together. I feel I feel like these are very similar signs in some ways, personality wise. But I think there's like a physical attraction. I also think there's like a deep psychological attraction as well. I feel like both Scorpio and Taurus people are often very creative, kind of eccentric a bit. where a Scorpio might be kind of a little more shifting in their moods and how they kind of experience the world. And maybe, you know, I think maybe it can be a little more on the melancholy side sometimes. Taurus is kind of the opposite of that. I feel like it's more of that extroverted energy, very, very creative, resourceful, just really has the ability to have very unique thoughts and kind of really manifest them. And surprisingly optimistic about life. And so I could see how these two could come together. I could also see how somebody who kind of who's a Taurus and who has some kind of placement in Scorpio could be a disaster, to be honest. I mean, it really seems like there could be some very volatile feelings coming out of a situation like that. Okay. I also think that it could be lighthearted and fun. Definitely. I think though, in this situation, I see over here, we have an A and we have a Z. I feel like for you in your mind, this person is kind of the beginning and the end. They're the complete deal for you. There's really a deep psychic soul connection that you're perceiving it this way. I'm not saying it's not true, okay, that it might be very true, but I think that this Scorpio person or Scorpion person, and we know what a person who has the attributes of a Scorpion can be like, especially if they're not regulated in their moods or emotions, right? They have not gone through the process of kind of refining their relationship with themselves and being able to control how they behave. So they have that stinger, right? Now, this A also looks like a person who has their hand out, and it looks like a bird eating out of their hand. I feel like that this person is very maybe egocentric, very kind of that almost narcissist type of personality, where they feel like they can just, you know, play people how they want, and they can kind of get people into a certain alignment or belief where they have them eating out of their hand, right? And I don't even think that this is necessarily a situation where they're like, you know, a con artist or using you necessarily for any kind of material thing or money or whatever, but I think that they're just the type of person that needs this kind of, you know, like reinforcement to feel like they have their mojo, kind of, you know, they need to be wanted. They need to be chased. They need to be desired. Like if they're not, they don't feel like they're alive, right? So I feel like when we have somebody that we kind of encounter that's like this, and we all have done it, we've all met people like this, right? They're usually juggling a few people, right? At least one or two. And all of this seems so precise in this, how I'm reading this. I mean, it really is working out the way that it's feeling. We have a person here, right? And their foot seems to be stuck in this thing. It looks like a trap, like a bear trap. And it makes me believe that they're a trap. This person is trying to trap you in their web of emotions. What is that thing called? Love bombing, that's where I did not know this had a word, but it's when somebody is kind of manipulating you, trying to get something from you emotionally. Well, I mean, it could be anything, but emotionally, they're trying to get you to trust them, to fall in love with them. And they just give you all of the attention. They're very nice. They're, you know, overly, you know, telling you nice things, texting you, calling you, coming to see you, bringing gifts, whatever. They're just bombing you with love, basically. And so, I feel like this person is kind of doing something on, they're very focused on getting you to believe that they feel very deeply about you. I almost wonder though, maybe they believe that they do. But I don't think that, it doesn't feel sincere, but I think that they honestly feel something deeply for you. But I also think that there is likely another person, and I think that you already know. I think that, yeah, I think that there's probably like another, and it seems like it could almost be a best friend, or somebody they call their best friend, or like an ex that they're really close with still. And they're like, you just have the intuition to be like, there's something more here, but they keep telling you, don't worry about it. We're not close. We're just friends. You don't have to worry about so-and-so. And then even talking them up like, oh, they, you know, they like you and, you know, whatever. But you can see the amount of pleasure they get out of communicating with this person, the time they spend with them, maybe even their body language together. They're just overly touchy. You know, it's subtle, but it's like, it's there, right? They have a lot of, and it's always weird when you're around somebody and it's, you know, you're dating somebody new and you come around them with like a friend like this, and they have a lot of inside jokes, and like they just, it's like there's a feeling of, I know them better than you know them, kind of. It's like like they're kind of, you know, kind of passive aggressively, maybe, you know, marking their territory a bit. So there's like an uncomfortable feeling of, you know, okay, there's something going on here, right? And so I feel like you need to listen to your intuition on this one. Now, is it worth, you know, putting up with this stuff? I don't know. You know, maybe, I don't know, maybe you want to put your foot in the trap. You know, you wouldn't be the first one, right? Sometimes people want these kinds of dynamics. I don't know if it is sustainable. Sometimes we just really are willing to put up with some drama to get maybe hopefully through it, so that we get out on the other side and, you know, you could have a really strong connection. But I don't know, you know, I don't know. I am at a place in my life as an older person, nearing 40, right? And I feel older than that just because of the way my life has gone. And I'm a firm believer in, you know, simple, like, you know, if there's a connection there, it has to be somebody that wants to work on aligning together with you in such a way that your life is not, you know, constant disaster. There isn't, you know, it's not always hard. It shouldn't always be hard. I mean, it can be a little hard for sure. We're human, and it's a whole thing to be coming together with somebody. But, you know, I mean, somebody should respect you enough to be honest with you. I mean, if that's how they're living their life, they should be honest about it. There's nothing wrong with that. Only when somebody is deceiving you, then in my opinion, it becomes kind of non-consensual, right? You know, just, I feel like kind of beware a little bit. And then I see up here, let me see if I can get this so it's kind of hard on the rim. Anyways, it looks like a pair of shears. Here comes TT. A pair of shears with the little handle, and this one's kind of open a bit. But scissors, shears, really kind of just letting you know, cut it off. Snip this thing right off before it gets too involved. Okay. And let me just say, this is not just for single people. If you yourself are already in a relationship, you know, this could be somebody that maybe you work with, somebody that you've met online, whatever it is, where you are harboring some kind of feelings for them, or it's growing because you just connect in such a way. But I feel like no matter what, if this is, you know, overtly romantic or not, there's some feeling towards this person. But I think that they're definitely they're misrepresenting themselves. Okay? So, I mean, you know, do with that what you will. Okay, now I want to look at this one right here. So, this looks like kind of a little, some kind of tent or home with a fireplace, and we see this kind of burning. And, okay, TT, I am holding you and loving you. And so I feel like this is kind of like a sacred interior space, like a temple, interior temple. I feel like there is a real sense of warmth there. I feel that it is important for you to be in this place when you are making decisions about your life, okay? But I feel like also in your dream spaces, in your vision work, in your meditation, whatever it is that you do, you are coming back to the central and center place, right? And this is a place of safety. This is a place of manifestation, revelation, a place where you almost like, it's like going back to the womb, right? It's warm, it's insulated, it's quiet. Nothing is going to bother you there, okay? And I think that there's a real desire to be in this place. And so when you're going to sleep, or you're kind of closing your eyes and kind of drifting, this is kind of the place that you are going to, okay? Now, I see around it, we have a turtle, okay? Right in here, a turtle. And then here we have, it looks like a cat right on the, ow. Okay, speaking of cat, you don't have to put your claws into my shoulder, Missy. Okay, so we have a cat here with the tail and a little bird. Oops, a bird right here. So I feel that very much it's like you're having visions of these power animals. Visions of maybe a familiar spirit kind of manifesting, offering you a gift of guidance, what comes to mind kind of oddly is laughter and dance, okay? These animals, and the bird, the turtle especially, taking your time, being focused on your goals, okay? Being true to yourself, honoring your process. The cat, of course, stealthy, sly. You are a good hunter. You are profoundly intelligent and also very independent. Okay, so when we get into situations like this where people make us kind of feel outside of ourselves, they don't treat us with the respect that we should be treated, or it's so it's so strange, especially a person that has done self-work, and pretty much most of the people you encounter in your life, because you limit who comes into your personal life, they honor you, they respect you. They speak to you in such a way. They, just overall, you feel safe, right, with the people that you let into your circle. And every so often, somebody will come along who just, it's like so out of pocket how they behave. It doesn't even make sense. And it doesn't make sense why you've kind of let them near you. But there's something about them, right? And this can be destabilizing with our sense of self, our sense of strength and independence. But I also think that people like this can be a wonderful lesson, okay? How to, just navigate this kind of interaction. Empathy, trying to understand somebody from afar. You don't have to be involved, right? You don't have to let them cause havoc in your life or in your peace. But to look upon the situation, contemplate this person while keeping those boundaries strong, and trying to understand why somebody would exist this way. Why would somebody treat other people this way? Have you ever treated people this way? Why? And have you continued to do that? Or have you kind of tried to heal yourself so that this is kind of a symptom of a deeper thing, right? And sometimes, you just grow out of these kinds of behaviors. Well, this person maybe has not, okay? So it's a reminder. The universe puts people in our life that are uncomfortable for a reason, but we still need to be safe, right? And keep our lives safe and keep ourselves safe. And so those boundaries are very important. And then what else do we have? The bird. So again, I think that there's a lot of freedom there, a lot of intelligence, creativity, vision, okay? And also perspective. A bird, because they fly, because they sit in trees, because they go on the ground, they have a lot of different and unique perspectives. So remember to kind of look things over from different angles, okay? And I think I'm gonna just take a look over here. I have I'll try to show her. I'm holding her like a baby as I'm doing this. She's telling me that it's getting late and mommy needs to hurry along here. Okay, so I see, at least in this situation, don't bite me. No. Okay. So in this situation, we have two distinct paths, okay? And I'm going to set this down because the cat's getting riled up here. Okay, come on. Now you have to go too if you're going to behave that way. Go. Come on. Okay. Two distinct paths, okay? And I think that, you know what these are. This is very general, though. Of course, life is much more nuanced than just taking two very, specific paths. But I think that really it comes down to, are you going to put your time and energy into this situation, or are you going to go the other way, right? Kind of use those shears to cut ties. I'm not going to tell you what to do. I think you already know what my opinion is. But, you know, my hope for you is just to remain well and, you know, just where you do make more difficult decisions or maybe not the best decision, use it as an experience, a learning experience. You're very cute, I know. And so this cat is very much trying to get me under her love spell to take her to bed. Get her in her comfy bink. So, yeah, I think that this is definitely an interesting time for you. And really, as I would tell anybody, you know, consider the repercussions of something like this, especially if you are already involved, if you are monogamous. You know, these are things to really think about. What is the fallout of somebody who is risky like this? Somebody who is not maybe very truthful. Somebody who has, you know, shifting alliances and so on. Okay. Yeah, and so I think this is our reading, and I'm going to let this cat jump and go and go and go, and I want to thank you so much for the time that you have spent with me. It is always such an honor to bring these messages to you. I really enjoy doing these readings, and I just can't believe that the channel is growing, and I don't know, I'm just kind of in awe of it all, honestly. But if you would be so kind as to like the video, it helps us get into the algorithm. And I'm saying us because we are a community here at Ula Tea Leaf Readings. And really, I mean, each and every one of you that has subscribed, you are so appreciated, such a blessing. And if you haven't subscribed, please think about doing so. You can hit the little subscribe thing, then you hit the little bell. It'll let you know when the next videos are coming out. We're on a schedule where every sign gets read once a week. Usually it's 7 days apart. And in between now and 7 days, you can watch your other placements, your solar, lunar, ascendant / rising. A lot of people cross watch, which I didn't know what that was, but that is when you watch readings for your loved ones, your children, your spouse, other people that you care about. And I think that's pretty cool. I've gotten in the habit of doing that for my daughter and my husband sometimes when I watch other readers. And what else? Oh, if you want to leave a comment, please think about doing that. I love hearing from all of you. It really makes my day. And yeah, so I think that's where we're at. All right, Taurus. Thank you, and we will talk again very soon.